Well, 10 o'clock, we'll call the September 6, 2016 meeting of the Limestone County Commission to order. We have two retirement certificates I need to present today. If I could have Sergeant Brenda Pack and Miss Carolyn Barnes, if you could step and join me right up here, please. Brenda, got you first up. How you doing?
Good.
Feeling better?
Yeah, I'm feeling lots better.
Brenda had a little health scare that she come through good. We're gonna miss you.
Well, I'm gonna miss it.
How'd you let Sheriff let you retire? Either one of y'all.
It was his idea.
Thus, here we are.
He said I couldn't refrain from biting long enough that I would get hurt.
Well, you must take a lot after Vanessa then.
I do. She taught me well.
Be it known that this retirement certificate is presented to Sergeant Brenda Pack. Whereas Brenda Pack has served the citizens of Limestone County for 15 years, and whereas Brenda Pack has done so with efficiency and professionalism, and whereas Brenda Pack has dedicated many countless hours above and beyond the call of duty, and whereas Brenda Pack has been a valued employee and will be sorely missed by Limestone County Commission and the Limestone County Sheriff's Office. Now therefore be it resolved by the Limestone County Commission that we do hereby commend Brenda Pack on her outstanding career as an employee with the Limestone County Commission and wish for her happiness and contentment that she so richly deserves, and direct that she receive a copy of this certificate, that she should be reminded of our sincere praise and admiration.
Thank you.
So Carolyn, the sheriff might get retired.
Don't ask her.
Be it known that this retirement certificate is presented to Carolyn Barnes, whereas Carolyn Barnes began her career with the Limestone County Commission at the Sheriff's Office on August 20th, 2001, and retired September 1, 2016. Whereas Carolyn Barnes has served the public and the Limestone County Commission with dignity and integrity during her 15-year tenure, and whereas Carolyn Barnes has dedicated many countless hours above and beyond the call of duty, and whereas Carolyn Barnes has been a valued employee and will be sorely missed, now therefore be it resolved by the Limestone County Commission that we do hereby recognize Carolyn Barnes for her service and devotion to the citizens of Limestone County and wish for her happiness and contentment in her retirement.
Thank you.
Brenda, could you come back down, please, ma'am? Guys, I think this deserves all of us to get up in a good picture, don't you?
Stand behind if that's all right.
That'd be great.
You're prettier than me. You get
You want me to get down on my knees?
Okay.
Carolyn won't bite.
Just have once in a while.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Enjoy
Hold on,
it.
Adam needs to-
Hold on, back, everybody. Redo.
What are we doing?
Enjoy it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Brenda.
Thank you.
Brenda, go.
All righty, Kelly.
Congratulations, Brenda.
Do we have any other public comment, Pamela?
No, we do not.
Okay, I thought I knew most of these. I thought Tammy and Vanessa may give a little diatribe on something. I know I didn't.
Didn't give 'em an
I had my
opportunity.
fingers crossed you wouldn't.
Morning, y'all.
Morning. Kelly.
Just want to give an update on the courthouse. The
Views look great.
Thank you.
They look fantastic.
The third floor, we're finishing up the carpet this week. We've got our pews installed, like the chairman said, in the district courtrooms only. We're putting final coats of paint on the walls on the third floor. We've got all the judges' benches completed, got the ceiling tile completed. All the trim work on third floor is done, so we're about ready to start grinding the terrazzo floor on third floor. That should happen probably starting next week. Second floor, we're finalizing some miscellaneous trim work, mostly around the judges' benches. The woodwork, as far as the bench itself, is completed on that floor. We're just kind of putting the base trim and things like that up underneath it. We'll start the carpet later this week on second floor. That should take about a week, 7 days, something like that, to complete that. And we've started the final coats of paint on second floor also. All the ceiling tiles completed there. We're just kind of punching out some miscellaneous items on second and third both. Mainly just going back and checking fire alarms, that kind of thing, fan coil units, just normal procedure stuff at the end of the project. First floor, we're going to start painting walls this week. We've completed the above ceiling work except for some minor issues with one fan coil unit. We've got about 25% of the ceiling tile in on the first floor. We've stopped that until we get these issues with the fan coil units and the control wiring straightened out. We've completed caulking the exterior steps. That was a change order a few months ago. And we've removed all the old pole lights out at the sidewalk. So we've removed the poles and the light fixtures, and we've rewired all of those, and we're ready for the new poles when we get that order done. And that's about where we're at.
Did Pam want those old poles? Were you wanting to recycle those old poles from the?
No.
Okay.
All right.
I heard the phrase "end of project" mentioned in there. What, you got a date?
Well,
Can you mention those two things at the same?
at the moment, we don't have a final date yet. no.
Okay. All right.
Robert, you got some?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that, I guess since the last commission meeting, we had a final inspection on the roof. So Kelly and I went up with the contractor and had a good inspection. We saw a few things, just minor things that had to be corrected. I believe the contractor's working on that now. One of the things I did notice in the short amount of time that from the installation to the final inspection that we had, we saw some minor debris in the areas where the new TPO is located. So I would suggest that we look at a maintenance plan, just maybe annually or semi-annually, that we get someone to
Quarterly.
go up there. Yeah, quarterly even.
You just get up there and open the hatch. And
Yeah, because there's some trees that are and branches that are adjacent to the courthouse that kind of lean over into that TPO area where some things had bunched up in there already. So it'd be good if we could get some kind of plan to maintain that area.
Those we were going to put overflow things. Are
They're
they
there.
in? Are they
They're-
below
they're-
the
they're
TPO
there.
or the EPDM?
They're there.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
okay.
Yes, sir. But there's always a risk when you get a lot of debris that those things can get clogged up. So that's where the maintenance would come in. But we do have good positive drainage in those TPO areas now.
And the pews that are going to circuit courts are presently being used at the judicial center, so we gotta get to the point where we're completely done. But it took them a day. They delivered them one day, they set by lunch the next day in district court. Them guys didn't play. They were in and out, and they looked really good. All right, thank y'all. Pamela, could you call roll, please?
Commissioner Hill,
Here.
Commissioner Turner,
Here.
Commissioner Black,
Here.
Commissioner Harrison.
All present. Commissioner Black, could you lead us in our pledge?
I will.
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. We're on to our first item. I'll ask for a motion to approve the minutes from August 12th and 31st, 2016. Do I hear such a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion by Mr. Black. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Turner. Any discussion? There's no discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Black.
Aye.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Commissioner Hill.
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Our next item, I'll ask for a motion to approve claims in the amount of $2,610,832.01. as presented to the commission. Do I hear a motion to approve such claims?
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion by Mr. Turner, have a second by Mr. Hill. Any discussion? If there's no discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Commissioner Hill.
Aye.
Commissioner Black.
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Aye.
Sorry.
Motion carries unanimously. Our next item on the resolutions and orders, I'll ask for a motion to adopt resolution executing a general obligation warrant for the maximum principal amount of $1,600,000 from First National Bank for the purpose of paying the overages on the jail expansion, shortfall on the courthouse renovation project, and any other capital costs permitted by law, with unused funds being used to retire the debt. Do I hear such motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Have a motion by Mr. Black and have a second by Mr. Hill. Any discussion?
Yeah, you know, as you mentioned the other day in the WHNT TV interview, we do have the funds in reserve that could pay for this. And I know that the mention was that it would make us feel uncomfortable getting our reserves down that low, but my opinion is we need to be uncomfortable. We need to maybe sweat a little bit and maybe look at some of our expenditures and reduce that. We'll build this reserve back up. We knew this reserves were going to be drawn down by the courthouse and the jail. We can dig ourselves out of this, and you know, look at what we're paying. What 2.8%. We're not getting anything on our reserves, and you got all the lawyer fees, bank fees, and bond fees. You know, I'd rather that go to avoiding debt and avoiding the payments and using our reserves. I mean, we've got some areas where we can still cut, and this is not going to draw our reserves down so low that we can't build it back up. And so I would avoid this debt at all. You know, just avoid it. We
Well,
don't need it to.
Well, can I-
Let me say something real quick, and then I'll
Okay.
let you. If I get legal counsel to give us legal advice, I follow it. If I get our accountant to give us financial advice, I follow it. When you talk about sweating it, I got elected. I took office November 2014, and I've been sweating the courthouse since the day I said I would like to be county commissioner of District 3. So we've been sweating it since we got in here, and it hasn't got anything to do with not borrowing the money or borrowing the money. It's that we have overextended ourselves to the point that now we're just going to quit in midstream. I mean, we can't quit in midstream. There's no way that we need to go into our reserves if we're getting the percentage at $1.6 million that we're getting. I talked to
2.8%. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I talked to Emily, and she said we'd have it paid off in 10 years, but it looked like we would have it paid off in 5 years. You know, reserve. You know what the reserves are for?
Mm-hmm.
If we have a tornado come through here in October and wipe out, you know, half of the county, that's where we go get our money from. If we don't, then we have a tornado or ice storm or something like that happen. We're just going to look at the people and say, hey, I can't send dump trucks out there to get this stuff out of the road. And I can't, I mean, because that's what, from what I understand, that's reserves are for backup, not for front end work. So that's my opinion.
Here's
That's
the
right.
thing.
This won't eliminate our reserves. I mean, we'll
Well,
still have some reserves left.
Here's the
Go
thing.
ahead.
Straight, like Commissioner Bly, I've been living nervous since I got here too. Found out we was on a $2.4 million deficit on 1 year budget. And the fact that in being you voted for, that you entered into $13.1 million worth of capital improvement plans, you borrowed $8 million to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
That's a bad thing?
that you borrowed, yeah, when you run your reserves from 12 million down to less than 5, when you add $600,000 of mortgage on top of that, yeah, it is
And
a bad
everybody
thing.
voted for that. Everybody, all these expenditures, everybody voted for that with the courthouse. We knew it was going to pull down our reserve. I would, you know, if you're going to build a house.
Well, let me speak.
Okay,
I didn't
okay,
interrupt
okay.
you.
All right.
I didn't vote to start the courthouse, start the renovation, and I'm not saying it didn't need renovated. Well, he's not arguing about borrowing enough money to do it either. You are. I'm just saying you can't just say, oh, I'm gonna go ahead and do $13 million worth of renovation. I'm gonna borrow $8. We don't get our money October 1. Everybody don't pay their property tax October 1 that we get our money. It takes 3 to 5 months to get our money. You pull your reserves down to a point and that money don't come in as quick as you want to, you don't even make payroll. That's what we're looking
I'm
at
in
here.
danger of doing that.
Well, bottom line is, we can't absorb 5.1. We can absorb $3.5 million, and that's according to our chief financial officer, who knows more about the finances, the income and the revenue of Limestone County than the rest of the people in Limestone County put together. I know you'd agree with me on that, because Emily does. I don't
she
want to
knows
borrow
more, yeah.
money. Nobody wants to borrow money. But the bottom line is, we have a commitment to provide basic services to the people of Limestone County. Now, I don't really have the choice to get up here and pander to the people or make grandstands and stuff like that, because I've got to make sure that we stay a viable entity, okay? Steve, like you pointed to Steve understands, he appreciates it. Nobody knew that the courthouse was going, I'm not criticizing renovating the courthouse. I'm not criticizing expanding the jail. All I'm saying is, didn't borrow enough money to do it. The
You said, I'm sorry, go ahead.
$1,402,000 in better living building, that's kind of iffy, but it is what it is. I'm not criticizing that. I'm just saying, you can't continue, we'll just do all this. We're not gonna borrow the money to do it. We didn't have it. We've pulled our reserves down to a point where if we have another issue, if you have another tornado, you don't understand. Shaw Road was $299,000 when that bridge washed out. We got 100% grant money for that, but we had to pay the $299,000 before we got the grant money, and it took what, Jason, 3 or 4 months, 5 months to get it. It's the same with that bridge down on Highway 20. We have to have reserves in order to operate, because when you got a county made up of 93,000 people that covers the amount of area and the amount of infrastructure that we have, you're gonna have things happen. That's what it is. Nobody wants to borrow the money, but you can't put yourself into a position that we've been put into and not have the reserves there. Our CFO don't feel comfortable with it. I don't feel comfortable with it. It's easy for you to say, we can live lean. We've been living lean. You didn't live lean the first 2 years, but we've had the last 22.
Well, we didn't add all those positions unnecessarily, and we hadn't been paying, well, and on the second page of this, what all renovation, is it all just that gutter on the Limestone County Annex? I mean, that quote came in 4 prices when you could have gone with a TPO just like we did with the courthouse.
Well,
I mean,
and Kelly can tell you, the person, the roof assessment guy, said that what you were talking about won't work.
I'm not
true.
surprised.
Well, I didn't find him. Criticize Kelly if you want to. I didn't even know or ever met the guy. That's what he said. It works fine. But that's just, it's disingenuous, man. I'm gonna vote out here to do all this stuff, and I ain't gonna vote to borrow the money to do it with, and you handle it. And that's basically what you're saying. But that's fine. You vote however you feel like you need to vote.
But you said in the interview that we had the money and the reserves to cover it.
It's there, but it pulls us down to a dangerous level. It's that simple. It does. It pulls us down to a dangerous level. That's what Emily, and I trust her implicitly. I think she's the smartest person when it comes to her finances. What do you think I'm gonna do with it? It's gotta be spent.
I gotta ask the question, what positions are we talking about that we created?
Well, I voted against David Soccer. I thought that was an unnecessary position. And I voted in the budget because everything was all in the budget for the PR position. But I didn't think we had to fill it. I mean, that's a nice to have stuff, but it's not necessary. Okay? And we need to quit doing that sort of thing. We need to separate our needs from our nice to haves.
So you can go out and improve $13.1 million worth of capital improvement projects and borrow $8 million to do it.
I think it's a
pull
good thing.
$5 million out of the reserves to do it. Put us at a dangerous level to be able to conduct business for the people of Limestone
Not a dangerous
County.
effort.
And you want to
You can always-
criticize 2 positions, it makes about $65,000 a year. put
Over the
together.
10-year period, they'd pay half of it. So, but, that's just an example. There's some other things too. But when you don't have to borrow it, okay, you don't have to borrow it. It does pull it down low. But we can always go, if we find, we can always go borrow money. If the emergency, they bring up the fear factor, anything can happen.
It's not a fear
Tornadoes
factor.
can happen. I mean, but you can't predict the future. And I agree that we need to have reserves and we need to build them up fast. But you don't have to borrow this money and spend the expense of doing that when you got reserves that you're not getting anything on. And you can go borrow money when we do get our, if something,
What
the
if we
sky
can't?
falls.
What if you don't, man?
Okay, well,
I mean, okay, well, okay, we'll just go ahead. Do you have insurance on your house?
yes.
Why? That's wasted money. Keep that money back, self-insured.
We've got insurance on all the
No,
property.
I'm
and
asking
on-
you.
Yeah, I have in-house insurance.
Why?
Because I can't afford to go build back a house.
Well, just self-insured.
I
That's
don't
what you're
have-
basically telling us to do. It's sound business principle. I don't know how the soap business is, and I don't know how it was when you worked at the other place. But if you go buy your stuff, you go end up bankrupt.
If we had money, it's virtually 0%, why go borrow it at 2.8? Even though we're at historic lows in interest rates, and we may even go negative, I don't know. But anyway, you still have to pay it back, and you still incur all those fees, in my opinion, unnecessarily. I object to everything that we have to do that results in the bond issue.
Well, it's not a bond issue, it's basically
Or
a bank loan.
bank
So you're
loan.
not
Well,
paying
a
a
loan.
bond attorney,
Yeah.
you're not paying
Okay.
bond origination, you're not paying any of that.
But you're having that expense, and it's not, you can avoid it, in my opinion.
Hey, I just stand on history. Like I said, that for the first 2 years, you went through $7 million worth of reserve, added a $600,000 mortgage to the people of Limestone County. That's what you did, and you voted to do it. And since I've been here, we've cut that budget. We were 900,000, went from 2.4 to 900 in red, and I'm hoping we can come out even more this year. So
How did we
I'll
do it?
put mine
And
to
how did
yours.
we do it? How did we cut that budget?
We run lean. We didn't
Well, $1
spend
million from the
$25,000 for studies. We didn't go buy old buildings and renovate them and all that. And remember, I was at the Republican meeting when you got up and I asked you how much better living, when you said between 60 and 180,000, and
The
you spent
scope
1,402,000 on it,
Scope changed.
regardless.
We were putting community corrections in there.
That's
I mean,
fine.
not the judges at that point.
I have a motion and a second before the commission. If there's no more discussion, I'll call for the vote.
I'd like to make a comment.
Yes, sir.
The reason I made the motion, I talked to Emily, and I'm kind of like Jason about putting my trust in her. I listened to her because she's got a lot more experience than me. If I'm gonna borrow money, and I'm gonna pick the battleground is when I'm gonna borrow it. Right now, the interest is low. If we don't borrow the money, on down the road, something bad happens. And again, we don't know. It's far unseen. The interest could be a lot higher. So I'm just picking my battleground now that I'm borrowing the money while the interest is low. Thank you.
If there's no more discussion, we'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Hill?
Aye.
Commissioner Turner? Commissioner Harrison?
Motion carries 3-1. Next item, contracts, agreements, and grants. I'll ask for a motion to approve agreement with the Mental Health Center of North Central Alabama Incorporated to continue providing an on-site juvenile court liaison for 40 hours per week, beginning October 1st, 2016 through September 30th, 2017, at amount of $57,750 annually. Do I hear a motion to enter into such agreement?
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion by Mr. Harrison. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Black. Any discussion? If there's no discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Harrison?
Aye.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Hill?
Aye.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Our next item, approve Alabama Department of Youth Services long-term detention subsidy contract to provide one detention bed for the use of the juvenile court at the Tennessee Valley Juvenile Detention Facility beginning October 1, 2016 through September 30th, 2017, without cost to the county. Do I hear a motion to approve such contract?
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion by Mr. Black. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Harrison or Mr. Turner, whichever one you got first. Any discussion? There's no discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison?
Aye.
Commissioner Hill?
Aye.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Our next item, approve TARCOG Area Agency on Aging contract effective October 1, 2016 in the amount of $126,030. Do I hear such motion?
So moved.
Have a motion by Mr. Turner, have a second by Mr. Hill. Any discussion? If there's no discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Turner,
Aye.
Commissioner Hill,
Aye.
Commissioner Black,
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Our next item, approved TARCOG Senior RX Program Memorandum of Understanding effective October 1, 2016, in the amount of $20,848. Do I hear such motion?
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion by Mr. Black. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Turner. Any discussion? If there's no discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Black,
Aye.
Commissioner Turner,
Aye.
Commissioner Hill,
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Our next item, approved memorandum of understanding between Alabama Department of Archives and History and the Limestone County Commission for a grant to purchase, install UV filters on records room windows and purchases and implement digital environmental tracking system for the Limestone Archives. Grant amount is $1,894.25. In-kind cost share in the amount of $2,513 for a total project cost of $4,407.25. Do I hear such motion?
So moved.
A motion by Mr. Hill. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Turner. Any discussion? If there's no discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Hill,
Aye.
Commissioner Turner,
Aye.
Commissioner Black,
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Our next item, approve agreement with AlDOT for construction of bridge replacement on Quinn Road over Round Island Creek in the amount totaling of $587,060. Do I hear such motion?
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion by Mr. Harrison. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Black. Any discussion?
This should begin, hopefully, break ground here in a couple of months, right?
No, because it hasn't gone to bid.
Okay. Well, that's
So
4
we'll have to
weeks.
go through the bid process.
Yeah. That usually takes 4 weeks, right?
I don't know offhand what month this is supposed to be let in. I'll have to check.
Okay.
If there's no more discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Harrison,
Aye.
Commissioner Black,
Aye.
Commissioner Hill,
Aye.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. There's no budget revisions, no emergency purchase, no board appointments. On the award bids, I'll ask for a motion. Oh, no, I won't. It says no bids received. Did we get that?
There is one to award, but I do not know the name of it. They were supposed to put on here they negotiated with a vendor, and I'll have to,
We just need to push that to the work session?
we can't push it to the work session. I apologize. Can we pause and let us
Can we
get the name
table
of
it?
the vendor? Because I was out and I thought they had negotiated a price.
Well, you want me to,
They have negotiated a price. I just do not know they didn't put it on the agenda.
well, do you want me to come back to that? If you want to try to,
Make
Yes.
a call. Yeah.
You can, if you don't mind.
They're probably scrambling at the commission office if they're watching this.
probably.
He said just come back to it.
Okay, so I'll move on to personnel actions. We'll take these both together. I'll ask to approve family medical leave for the following: Bobby McCormick and James Scott. Do I hear a motion to grant such medical leave?
I make
moved.
second.
I have a motion by Mr. Hill, second by Mr. Turner. Any discussion? There's no discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Hill,
Aye.
Commissioner Turner,
Aye.
Commissioner Black,
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. I'll ask for a motion to approve the merit increases to the people. Everybody has it on the list there. I think there's 12, 13 of them.
I make a motion.
I have a motion by Mr. Turner. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Black. Any discussion?
I see one on here is getting a merit increase that looks like he's fixing to be retiring before too long. I sure do hate to see him leave. Stanley McNabb.
Yep.
He is. Yes, he is. There's no discussion, more discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Oh, excuse me. They was sending me the text on the other. Commissioner Turner,
Aye.
Commissioner Black,
Aye.
Commissioner Hill,
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Are you ready for the that one?
Not yet.
Not
They're
yet.
sending,
Okay.
they sent the
But it's-
company, but they're trying to send the amount.
Oh, excuse me. This time we'll go to the engineer's report.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. Have two things this morning I'd like to get the commission approval on. One is a subdivision in District 2. It's the Arbors Edition number 6. It's a major subdivision. This will be preliminary approval this morning, 64 lots. It's on the north side of Newby Road.
I make a motion.
Second.
I have a motion to accept the Arbors Edition 6 by Mr. Turner. Have a second by Mr. Hill. Any discussion? There's no discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Turner,
Aye.
Commissioner Hill,
Aye.
Commissioner Black,
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Aye.
Second thing I have, Mr. Chairman, is we've received a request from Laura Murrah for permission to cut across Lebanon Road. This is in District 4 for the purposes of placing utilities. This is going to be to run a power line basically underneath the road, and we have put some requirements, some restrictions, criteria that they have to meet to do this. And, recommend approval of that.
Do I have a motion to approve such request from Ms. Laura Murrah as presented by our engineer?
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion by Mr. Harrison. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Whichever one family you want to write down, they were in unison. Any discussion?
Hey, I would love to see us have contractors for TV, utilities, and other things have to get on the agenda just like this before they do anything to or under our road.
I agree.
I agree with that.
I don't think that's too much to ask.
That's something we're working on, right?
working on it.
Yeah.
Is that in the new subdivision regulations, or is it something else we're working on?
I think that may be a separate policy.
Good.
I agree.
Did I call for the vote?
Not yet.
Well,
Oh, yeah, we got the vote. I just need
okay. Great.
motion. I just need to call for the vote. Oh, their
Okay.
votes.
No,
Commissioner
I just
Harrison?
agree with you, Steve, and I went before the water board and asked them if they can, because we've got a lot of legacy lines out there that are breaking up, and it's coming right through the road and undermining the road, and they're supposed to be working on a lower cost way that, instead of just boring under the road, you know, they tell me it's about $1,200 a bore, yeah, but I'm hoping that they can come up with a way to where they can put a chase under there to where it sends the water out to the edges of the road and not come up through the road. That's it.
I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Harrison,
Aye.
Commissioner Black,
Aye.
Commissioner Hill,
Aye.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Our next item, I ask for a motion to give Administrator Pam Ball the authority to approve departmental budget revisions as necessary for the end of the year procedures. Do I hear such a motion?
So move.
Have a motion by Mr. Hill. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Turner. Any discussion? There's no discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Hill,
Aye.
Commissioner Turner,
Aye.
Commissioner Black,
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Next item, approve the following change orders for Phase 3 of the courthouse renovation project, in the amount of $14,857. Do I hear a motion to approve such changes?
I'll make the motion.
Have a motion by Mr. Black. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Turner. Any discussion? There's no discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Black,
Aye.
Commissioner Turner, Commissioner Hill,
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. There's no scheduled public hearings. Pamela, do you have that?
Yes, I do. The name of the company's gonna be IMS, and it's, for the 2,500 envelopes, it's 95, let me see it. Well, the total is $523.75. Let me get the individual prices up. Envelopes is $93.75, and the mail notices are $117.50.
For a total of,
$523, whatever.
All right, wait a minute. So we got 93.75 plus 117.50.
and it's 523.
How does that go?
I don't know, because Emily sent me the amount and they sent the,
That should be
Alicia said-
$211.25.
It's,
Let's approve it.
it's probably a unit
Okay.
as far as,
That's it. Okay.
multiple.
because I can't see the whole bid, I just
Right.
got the,
Somewhere there's a math teacher happy that I caught that.
yeah, I'm sure.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
When I find
And
it.
some students amazed.
Yeah, and some of my former students amazed at it.
So what I need to approve, or what I need to ask the commission
Just
to approve?
approve the bid, to award the bid to IMS for the mail notices.
So I'll ask
And
for a
we'll fill in the
motion
exact total
to
amount of
approve
the
the bid
unit.
to IMS for the mail notices for the License Commission.
I'll make the motion.
I have a
I'll second.
A motion by Mr. Harrison, a second by Mr. Black. Any discussion? There's no discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Harrison?
Aye.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Hill?
Aye.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
This time we'll move to report of officers. Commissioner Hill?
I mentioned about the CSX railroad crossings in our work earlier. They've got most of these finished in District 1. I think Elm Street's still gonna be closed for a while. Also, we like probably 1 day of chip sealing, and we've got several spots that we're gonna asphalt to level the roads. And I just ask the public to be careful, watch for signs and lights, and slow down.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Turner?
They finished the second round of mowing. We'll probably try to hold off to do any more mowing until the majority of the farmers have gathered their crops. That way we can scoot on over and make it look better a little further on over. And in the meantime, we're working on some line of sight improvements, trimming tree limbs out of the way when there's impeding the line of sight up hills and such. So we'll be out with chainsaws blocking one lane most of the time. So if you see us, please be careful.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Black?
Today's, of course, is the 6th. We closed Lucas Ferry, or the Miller & Miller closed Lucas Ferry this morning. Newspaper and other reports had it being closed 3 months. I think that's a dream. I think it'll be much longer than 3 months. Also, we started our second round of cutting. We will not be this late doing it next year because we will have a second tractor and bush hog next year, and we will be much faster in getting it done. And then the other thing, I know every meeting we have, somehow we get on the courthouse. I mean, Kelly's here for every meeting, and we get on it. You know, it's a beautiful building. It's a historical building, and it's a building that we need. But it's sad to say that it's been an albatross. It really has just been something that has just pulled us down, and I'll be tickled to death the day that Kelly walks in here and says, we're cutting ribbon tomorrow. And I look forward to that day.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Harrison?
Well, we're continuing, we never start bush hogging. We start in May, and we go for full, because we can't get hardly one round with the one bush hogging. But we had a lot of rain in August, and that's really exacerbated the problem. It's the grass is growing, but we're doing it in sequence. We got Christopher Road done. We're finished with it. I say we're done. We're going to come back after October 1st and come in and put some plant mix down on the lead-in portion into Patterson Hill. We're doing Patterson Hill this week. We're also experimenting this afternoon on some patches on Persimmon Road. So just be careful out there, and just obey the guys that are following. That's all I have.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all for coming. I want to share Commissioner Black's thing about the courthouse. Everywhere I go, somebody says, when you going to finish the courthouse, and laugh. It is a beautiful building. It's going to be beautiful inside and out. We get through. It has been a absolute albatross is probably the best word to do it. Like I said, I didn't create this mess, but I'm trying my best to clean it up, best of my ability. Y'all have a great week. We'll recess to 10 a.m. on Wednesday, September 4, 2016 to Washington Street Courthouse Annex 310.